Hello and welcome in.
I did it.
Ultimate Team.
I figured it out.
Waiting for this one all week, and the wait is finally over. It's time to play ball. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. To return it, here's Reggie Bush. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their do-it-all quarterback in his 5th season now for BYU. It's Taysom Hill.
Remember when we used to talk about players being slash-type players? That's because they play so many different positions. Taysom Hill is a quarterback slash receiver slash running back slash special teams guy. You name it, he's able to do it. But many also think that he can be a full-time starting quarterback in the NFL.
On 1st and 10, Hill firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down. Hill looks to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Bush. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. To throw is Hill. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. This is brought in at the 21. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll be led out by the reigning MVP of the National Football League, now in his 17th season out of Cal. It's Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the poster boys for persistence and belief in self. Because coming out of high school, he had 0 scholarship offers in the D1 level, went to a junior college, went to Cal and just blew up there. And then, of course, as a first-round draft pick, but a lot lower than what he expected in the 1st round, and then had to sit behind Brett Favre for a few years in Green Bay before getting his shot. Now he's probably one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen come down the pipe.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. Check 45 to Mike. Check 45 to Mike. 65, 65.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Gotta give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. That's caught by Waller out left side. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football. We're scoreless after 1. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 24 yards.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
So 1st and goal now from the 7-yard line. Handing it off to Brown. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Now Bush on the return. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Hill. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, that was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Hill. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. Pulled in at the 24. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Justin Ellis coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. This is taken at the 15. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Hill on 1st down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Throwing on 3rd down, Hill. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Javon Curse with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Here's Kevin Huber now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We got an excellent first half from the former MVP, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, we check out their numbers on the ground.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help him out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll have a Dolphins first down. His good running gets him to about the 44.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Worth noting, that visiting sideline is getting the worst of the sun right now. It can definitely play a factor, especially because the other sideline is in full shade. On first down, Brown. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They give it to Brown. Brown has the first down and much more. And he'll be taken down at the 26. 76 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Worth noting, that visiting sideline is getting the worst of the sun right now. It can definitely play a factor, especially because the other sideline is in full shade. They'll run on first down. Brown. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On the handoff, this is Brown. Pushes him aside at the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the 3rd quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just the series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. The 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point now by Boswell. And it's good to make it 14-0. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Back now in Miami, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right.
keeping hope alive.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Back to throw, Hill. And this is incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
To throw again on 2nd down, Hill. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
From the gun on 3rd, Hill swings this out for Hunt. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. From the gun, here's Hill. He'll get that complete to Alberto. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Hill now to throw. And, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time on 4th for Hill. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Keep doing that.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They go right back to the ground here in Brown. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Here's a give to Brown. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll run. This is Brown. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 141 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now a carry for Brown. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 9, and that should write an ending to this one.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
A run here with Brown. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. They'll try and run it in with Brown. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys are nails out there.